Welcome back to episode 9 of Palm Blisters, the one and only podcast where the four of us talk everything and anything to do with video games. So, what are we talking about this week, guys?
Flash
Flash
games.
games.
Flash games,
Games.
web browser games.
Yeah.
Fun.
Like when I think of like flash games and stuff like that, I think of just like all the times of just being in like school, like middle school, and just like
Cool math
cool
games.
math games. That's like the very like first one where it was like because like I think the teachers actually introduced us to cool math games because they're like, oh, math is in the name, so
Yeah, but in reality, almost none of the games had to do
none
with
of
that.
it.
And I think some of them had puzzles to them. I mean, Fireball and Water Girl, I guess, were puzzles, but
Yeah,
I love playing that with like another person.
yeah.
It's so much fun.
I do love that game. Yeah, me and my buddy we used to play it all the time.
Yeah, sitting here like 7th, 8th grade,
Yeah.
me and a friend of mine would just go at it all the time.
One of the greatest co-op flash games of all time.
I mean,
Absolutely.
it's also maybe one of the only co-op Flash games of all time.
Yeah,
That
only
or
one that I know of, actually.
there is another one that I used to play all the time on an old flash game website called y8.com. Have you ever heard
Called Wired.com?
Wired?
Y8?
Oh, Y8.
The letter Y and the number 8. Y8.com.
Haven't heard of
It's like
that.
a bunch of flash games. And there was this one game, I forget what it was called, but it was like you were these blocky characters, but like you were fighting off zombies. And there was a two-player version where someone would use like ASD and W,
Uh-huh.
and then like F and G to like fire, and then the other person would use the arrow keys, and they would use like the number keypad to like fire.
That sounds really fun.
It was a good time. We used to just like see like how far we could get. Like it was just like a more simple version of like I don't know, just like a zombie survival game. Like,
Yeah.
and like there was like different like upgrades and all that stuff. It was so much fun. But yeah, there was like
That almost reminds me of this game. I forget what it was called or even what platform it was on, but it was a game where you could like customize a vehicle and like drive through and like crush zombies. You know what I'm
I
talking
know
about?
exactly what you're talking.
What was that called?
Sure.
That
I know
was
exactly
a really fun
because
game,
I
but
remember it also came out on mobile too.
yeah, it was on mobile.
It ended
So,
up being a
yeah.
mobile game as well. I know exactly what you're talking about, but that was a fun game.
Yeah.
But now that like back to the whole zombie thing, I think the game is called Zomblocks.
Down blocks.
I'm not entirely
I
sure,
can double check, see.
but yeah, it was such a fun game.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and then like there's so many. I was looking into it. Like there were so many Flash like websites that I used to go on.
Yeah.
What was your go-to website though?
There's so many.
I went to addictinggames.com a lot.
I did that a lot, but I would say my most used one was Miniclip, actually.
Miniclip was also so good.
Yeah, well, because probably that was the first one I was introduced to. My brother showed me it from I was like really young, because that was an older website, and yeah, ever since I was introduced to it, I was on it like all the time as a kid.
Mine was it had to be either white.com, Armor Games, Newgrounds was a big one too.
Mm,
Because
yeah,
Newgrounds was fun too because they didn't just have games, they also had like animations.
yeah,
And a lot of the animations were so funny and they're like so nostalgic to me like when I look back at them. Newgrounds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's still around.
Yeah, yeah. Is it actually?
Yeah.
Oh wow,
And because there's like a lot of creators from that website like that I still like keep up with today. Like
right.
I was just playing this Newgrounds game the other day. It's called, I think, Happy Inc., where it was like a throwback to Breakout, except instead of like, breaking blocks, it's like you're operating this machine that launches a giant wrecking ball to just destroy city blocks.
no, that was fun. Yeah, Newgrounds. I just remember. I think Newgrounds. I think honestly, I watched more for the animations than playing. I mean, I did play some of the games, but I remember finding like so many creators that I still watch today. Like I don't know if you've ever heard of his name's Aaron Hansen.
Yeah, yeah.
Game Grumps. He's
Yeah.
a renowned voice actor.
Yeah.
I still keep up with him, but I found him from Newgrounds because he was making like just all these silly animations and cartoons back
Right.
then. And it just I don't know, just looking back at it, like all of his old ones, like it's just so nostalgic to me.
Yeah.
There's this one artist I like who's on Newgrounds right now called Gens, GNC.
Mm.
There's this comic called Boxcar City Rush that I'm a big fan of. He has this really cool sort of like thin line, like jagged art style that I really love.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. I I like back to like Aaron Hansen, like I like his well at least his old art style. It was like very just like cartoonish and like just silly. I don't know. It's just like very graphically appeasing at the time. So I was always into like his stuff. Um, but going back to like other websites, like I think yeah, Y8 was like a big one now that I look back at it. Like
Let's see if that's still around.
that, yeah, because now that I think about it, a lot of Flash game websites got
Yeah, y8.com.
yeah.
It's still
I
around.
still around.
Yeah, look.
It looks a little different than
Yeah, I just looked up
Oh.
Miniclip and it looks way different.
yeah.
Apparently they make Subway Surfers.
Oh, Miniclip does?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
On Miniclip?
No, they made Subway Surfers.
made-
Oh, they made it?
Miniclip is like a
Really?
company, not just a website.
I didn't know they made that. I thought that was
I
like
know, I was looking at their website
Huh.
while we were talking, and it's like, wait, they made it.
Huh, that's awesome.
Oh my gosh. I just thought oh, I'm like,
Remember Final Ninja on Miniclip?
Yeah,
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I love that.
That was a good
so
one.
that's a
cool.
good one.
And another website that came to mind, well, two websites. There was XGen Studios,
hmm
and then it was just like I think it was like
Stick Page.
Stick
Page.
Page.
I
I love that
Yeah,
page.
Stick
Oh
Page.
It had all the Stickman games.
Yes.
Stickman, yeah, all the original ones.
Yeah.
Handle Stickman, like every just like game that just involves stick figures, like Stick RPG.
And I don't know why, but I love those games with a
No,
passion. Like,
it was
so fun.
like just like so like a lot of them were so much fun, and a lot of them like you could like save your progress to
Yeah.
like the Stick RPG games. Have you guys
Mhm.
played the Stick RPG games?
Yeah, I remember I played
Yeah.
both of them.
Yeah, the first one was very simplistic. The second
Yeah.
one they really
The second
upgraded
one was
it.
like a huge upgrade. They included combat from that Stick Fighter Arena game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. I used to play. It was called Stick Arena.
Mhm.
That was like one of the very first Flash games I ever played because my older brothers used to play it all the time, and I remember playing it. Oh my gosh! Is that still around Stick Arena or at least Stick Page?
I don't know.
Because Stick Page. Oh my god! I remember going down the show.
Stick Page, yeah.
I remember like wow.
It's
Because it's a lot of Flash stuff.
Yeah.
it's not really the
At
thing.
Newgrounds.com, they have this software you can download to run Flash games on their website, which is pretty cool.
So like all the games like that were like, you know,
Yeah, like before
like on Stick Page and like all that stuff.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of these games aren't supported anymore.
yeah, before we started, I was showing you guys I was playing that game Hungry Night, the sort of proto
Yeah.
one I did. That's another cool thing is like how many Flash games, like a lot of indie devs started off with making Flash games,
Right.
like
Yeah.
Super Meat Boy. I was telling them, Chris, Super Meat Boy. Before that, they published this like much smaller game just called Meat Boy on Newgrounds.com.
Mm.
And then Hollow Knight was a lot of the idea for that originally came from a game jam thing called Hungry Night, which is a much more simplistic game where you're just a knight that goes around killing monsters to get their fruit before you die from 10 seconds of starvation.
Now
Sounds really
you
cool.
were showing me with Hungry Night, like you're like it's obviously nothing close to what Hollow Knight
Yeah.
is. It's just like the same art style. But was Meat Boy the same thing? Like was it the same kind of concept where it's like
Yeah,
platform?
it's the same concept. I think it was like made just as a prototype when the devs were
Okay.
It was basically made as a stepping stone to make Super Meat Boy.
Oh, that's interesting.
Nice.
Yeah, but
Going back to Zomblocks though, it was called Zomblocks.
was it called
Yeah.
Zomblocks?
It
Yeah.
was. That's it, right? Or,
No,
that's
not
not
it.
okay, there was another game called Zomblocks then.
Yeah, no, it wasn't all. I think Blocks had something in the name. Try
Block
go
Fortress?
back to y8.com because it was definitely on y8.com. Like type in like zombies or something. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if it comes up because it was like the most.
Zombie Destroyer. Well, this one's kind of blocky.
Well, it was like a top down, but like it had kind of like a 3D-ish kind of art style to
This
it.
one, Pixel Zombie.
No, what's it?
Suddenly Zombies.
No.
Hmm.
Scroll down, scroll down. Like it'll
You'll
jump right
recognize
now.
it, yeah.
You guys remember that time? So I know I always thought it was funny. We all played these Flash games, right? They had a lot of like gruesome content to them. Like I remember
They
playing,
did.
Yeah.
I remember playing like those games where you're like stick figure sniping and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, do you remember the jailbreak one? The stick figure. It was like a jailbreak game. I forgot.
Oh, I know exactly what
And
you're
you could
talking
like sneak in a gun in like a birthday cake or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it was,
It's just like very dark. You know, like,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Brings me to my point. You guys remember when Nickelodeon bought AddictingGames.com?
Yes. I
yeah,
do remember that.
yeah.
And it was like Does Nickelodeon know what's on this website?
Yeah,
I
no.
remember playing some weird game where it's like you have to shoot turds as they come out of someone's butt.
Oh, you know what's funny? You're saying they shoot like turds and shit
And
like that.
it has those sniper games I was just talking about, where you shoot someone in the head, there's this big blood splatter, like,
Yeah.
Um,
No, they were graphic.
and
Yeah.
like Nickelodeon, I think they just blindly bought it. Because then I remember after that, then they exactly see all these iCarly, Victoria Flash games, like,
Yeah.
what is going on here?
Right.
No place on here.
yeah, no, they had no idea what they were doing, but because like you're gonna get like these younger kids. I mean, meanwhile at the time we were also young kids,
Yeah.
but I guess
Yeah.
we just had a more refined graphic palette, I guess you could say.
That's what we think we were hardened up by.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of Nickelodeon, I'm pretty sure every kid show back in the day had some sort of flash game.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
they did. Even like Disney too. Like I remember, like there were times like I went on what was it? I think it was like Disney's website. They had like this one Zack and Cody game where it was like you had to like shoot
Oh, I
like
think I remember that.
you had to like shoot balls into like a pool, like
Yeah.
a full thing or something like that. I don't know, but like it was fun. It was a good time. For its time.
I
But
remember playing with Billy and Mandy, like Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. You guys remember
yeah,
that shit?
yeah.
They did a 2D platformer based off that one Halloween episode.
Uh-huh.
I
Really?
remember playing that a lot because it's only like 3 or 4 levels, but I played that so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever beat it though, but
Yeah, it's funny. So you going a little bit back to you were saying like shooting like like turds out of like but I you guys ever play Kitten Cannon?
no.
No. I'm assuming you shoot a kitten out of
You
a
shoot a
cannon.
kitten out of a cannon. Like that's how like graphic addicting games was. Like
Yeah.
you shoot a kitten out of a cannon and you could see like how far it could go. And the further you would go, like the more like money you would get, and then you could get upgrades so you could shoot the kitten even further.
Hold up, I just went to addictinggames.com and one of the first things I see is don't shoot the puppy.
Yeah, but you know what's fun? Do you guys know the band Daft Punk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Daft Punk, their song Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger was in the game Kitten Cannon.
Really?
And that's actually how I first discovered Daft Punk. Through this game where you're shooting a kitten out of a cannon.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, but that game was just oddly fun, just like over and over again, just literally hold the space bar, shoot this kitten out of the cannon. And just,
You know what game was really fun that involved cannons kind of was Raft Wars. Did you guys ever hear of that? Yeah, where you played as like little kids
Yeah.
and you like
Yeah.
build up their rafts and you
Yup.
shoot,
Yeah.
tennis balls or cannons or whatever at
yeah,
opponents.
at the
Yeah.
opponent's fire
Yeah.
ship. Yeah, no, that was good. And oddly enough, I actually like recently played that
It was
because
so much fun. Yeah.
because I was in class and I was just in like a boring lecture
Mhm.
and I'm just like I'm trying to figure out what to do. I'm like I'm already set. Like I don't need to know what's going on in the lecture. So
Yeah.
I was going back to like some like flat like where I can find these games and I forget what website I found it, but I was playing randomly and I was like, damn, this is the sound.
It was such a fun game. I don't know if it would hold up if I went back and played it now, but
Yeah.
as a kid, I put so many hours into it.
Oh yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
It reminds me of there was like a co-op it was like a multiplayer game.
Mhm.
Did you guys ever play like tanks?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, just, like that was a fun
That
game.
was a lot
Did
of
you
fun.
ever play Age of War?
Yes, Age of
That
War
was a
was
cool one.
iconic.
I love the music of that game. Just
Yeah, the music is iconic. Like it is just so good. Oddly, like I think they had 2 of them, right?
yeah, they made a second one with a bunch of more eras. Like they had Egypt, they had Vikings, I think.
I don't think I liked the second one as much as the first. I thought the first one was just so
The
like
first
good.
one's a classic.
It's a
Yeah,
classic,
yeah.
like but yeah, the music in that. I mean, we already talked about music, but that was iconic.
Final Ninja, I remember the music in that being really good.
Yes, yeah, I agree.
Did you guys ever play Wink the game?
Wink.
No.
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 Oh, that was one I really loved playing as a kid. It was just like you're this guy going to some castle rescue a princess basic thing, but I remember just having this really fun atmosphere, like really good music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did a lot with that, like a lot of fun sound design. Like they play these little string notes as you do a little sneaking animation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
You can sneak onto the ceiling like the suction cups, hide in the background. It's very funny stealth because you just press a button and you just sort of lean against the wall so enemies just completely don't notice you. And then you can just choke enemies out. That's another
Oh
one.
my, well,
Nice.
and like talking about like all these Flash games, like it makes me think it's like are they like are companies or like
Are they still making?
are they still
No,
making?
Flash was discontinued.
Well, I know Flash was discontinued, but like,
Yeah.
are they making games like similar?
Yeah, web browser games still exist. I know there's certain stuff like Pico 8, which is like I guess the idea is it sort of like simulates old consoles, but
Hmm.
it's popular in stuff like game jams.
Yeah.
I was telling you, Chris, have you ever heard of Celeste, that game?
No.
Celeste is like this really good like 2D platformer about a depressed girl climbing a mountain.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But it was based off this game jam game that was made in like a few days. And like you can play that online for free, the original Celeste Classic.
Mm.
And it's
Okay.
really fun seeing how this huge, like this one small game made in like 2 days became formed the basis for this much bigger, like huge, like successful game. Like
Yeah,
it's
that's really
Yeah.
cool.
like it's an indie game, but you can buy physical copies of it at stores,
Right.
which is I think usually a good mark of success.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's on the because I play on Xbox. I think it's on the Xbox Game Pass. If I don't know. The last time I checked, I think
That'd be cool. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just interesting, like how, because like, I mean, I think it's just because we're all like, grown up now. We're not really playing like these old
Well,
Flash
it's
games.
funny. I actually just recently went back and played was Jetpack Joyride considered a Flash game or was that just mobile?
That was a mobile game.
I
Okay.
think it was just mobile. But
Either way, like it's kind of has that vibe of a
Yes.
Flash game.
Well, for sure, it does.
And I went back and I played it recently, back in January.
Yeah.
And honestly, I had a blast playing.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so good. No, I love like downloading like old games like that
Yeah.
that I had. Like, I remember not
Temple Run or
yeah, not so long ago, I downloaded a Doodle Jump. Like,
Oh, Doodle
yeah.
Jump.
And
Yeah,
I
that was like,
I was like, I totally forgot because that was like that might have been like the first mobile game I ever got was Doodle Jump.
I think mine was like Temple Run.
The Temple Run
Yeah.
back on the original iPod Touch.
Yeah.
iPod Touch 4, I think. That's
Yeah, I
what
remember I never had a smartphone until high school, but I had an iPod Touch. I think I got it in like fifth grade. And that's
Yeah.
where I played all my mobile games.
I was the same way. I think, yeah, I had an iPod Touch and then had a little clam phone in middle school.
Yep, same. I had one with like
Yeah.
a slide down
I
keyboard.
had that same one.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was a really old LG.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
all you could do was text or call on it.
Yeah.
So,
I forget what mine was, but yeah, it was like one of those flip. Well, it wasn't like it was like a slide. Yeah, you
Yeah.
slide it went for the keyboard, which is it's kind of cool, like looking back at it. But I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, less. I would say it's more inconvenient now with the
Yeah.
technology we have.
I remember I was so jealous. Like, I feel like all my friends had like smartphones by that time too,
Mhm.
by like seventh or eighth grade. And
Oh, yeah,
I was
me
here
too.
like I was embarrassed. I was like, yeah, I'm typing on this.
Yeah.
I had that little phone, and then I also had an iPod Touch.
Yeah, same here. And I use my iPod Touch way more than
Oh,
way more than
I
my
actually
phone.
had apps and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for the most part, like if I was like texting friends, like I would just text on because like they had the Messenger app still
Hmm.
on the iPod Touch.
Yeah, exactly.
So I would just use that. But obviously making calls and stuff like that, I bring my phone around. But yeah, I just remember like, especially like when my friends like first started getting like this was before I had an iPod Touch. Like the second my friends had an iPod Touch, I was like, whoa,
Yeah,
this is
I
the
was
coolest
blown
thing
away.
ever. I like,
Because I had an iPod Nano, I think it was called before
yes,
that.
yeah.
And all you could do with that was listen to music,
Yeah,
I
play
was
music.
getting my brother hand me down just like regular iPod, and that feeling so cool to me at the time.
Well, yeah, it was cool, but like, and then when I saw my friend got an iPod Touch, I was like, what?
Yeah, what
You can
is it?
download games and play games and surf the internet? Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I low-key loved that like the iPod Nano. Like it was
No, it's cool.
awesome.
Like, I honestly kind of want to get one now just for listening
Yeah.
to music.
No, me
Yeah.
too. That would be cool.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I recently I just watched the movie Baby Driver. Have you guys
Oh,
watched
yep.
it?
Yeah.
Like how he's like
Good one.
he's just like musically inclined. He needs music, and he's like always using an iPod Nano.
Yeah.
I was thinking like for my I'm pretty sure I still have my old iPod Nano.
I
Like
think I have mine somewhere. Who knows if it would even turn on if I
Yeah.
charged it though.
I had an iPod Touch, but I dropped it one day. The screen was super cracked, but it still worked. One day, I think it just stopped working though, but I still have it somewhere in my house.
Nice.
Well,
Mine's still like in mint condition somehow. Like I never dropped it. Like I babied that thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I know the later iPods let you watch movies and stuff, which is cool. But like, who's gonna want to watch stuff on that tiny little screen?
yeah, on like a 3.5 inch screen,
yeah.
No, but
That's just fun.
it is. Do you guys remember? Did your iPod Touch have the little button on the back where you could press in and it would pop out and you could put a strap on it? strap it around your
I
hand.
need to know that.
Okay, I don't know what version iPod Touch I had then, but there was a little button on the back,
Mhm.
like a physical button that you could press, and it would pop out, and it was meant so you could put a strap around it to strap it around your wrist, so you couldn't drop it.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
I
let me.
I
I need to
yeah,
show you this.
I've never heard of that. I thought like all iPod Touches were like just the slick metal back.
It was slick
Like,
metal, but
it
if
just
you
had
push in that button,
there's no way it was on the 4 because I had the 4 and I think I would have been aware.
iPod. I guess it was the 5, iPod Touch 5.
I've never seen that. Wow.
Let me see.
Yeah, you see this little
Yeah.
metal ring there, and then you could strap a thing around it. That was the iPod Touch I had.
Okay.
And we'll pop up a image for you guys, what I'm talking about. But
I've never seen that. Wow.
Let me see.
Awesome.
sorry. You see?
Oh
Little metal circle and
Oh yeah.
So I guess that was the iPod Touch 5 that had
I
that.
remember that little thing you could punch it. I didn't realize that was for putting a strap on.
But you remember the little thing you could punch
Yeah.
out. Yeah, yeah. So that was for
Now I remember.
attaching a strap.
That's cool.
Anyways, going back to Flash games though, it was funny. You were saying in like a lecture or something you were playing what were you playing?
Oh, I was playing Raft Wars.
Raft Wars, that's right. So the other day in one of my classes, I happened to see someone sitting in front of me playing Run on Cool Magic
Oh,
Games,
really? Yeah.
and I was like, man, that brings me back to playing that in like middle school.
Uh-huh.
It was just funny seeing like a college student playing it.
Yeah,
you
it is
know?
funny. Because it's like, I mean,
Yeah, I remember like just recess. I mean, I'd be in the computer lab with a bunch of other people just playing like cool math.
Yeah.
On like a rainy day where you had like indoor recess. Oh my
I
God.
remember my school like actually blocked cool math games like pretty late because it had the word games in it.
Yeah,
Really?
also
So it was automatically picked up
Oh wow.
by the blocker.
yeah.
Oh wait, that just jogged a memory. I think mine did too. I guess I was in like 8th or 9th grade when they did it. Yeah, I don't know.
I remember ours did, especially in high school, because they wanted to stop just like us playing games in class.
Yeah.
And then people just kept finding more and more unblocked websites.
Well, then there was like Total Jerk Face with Happy Wheels.
Yes, Total
Yeah.
Jerk Face.
Oh my God, I remember Happy Wheels. God.
Happy Wheels was a blast.
Was
dude.
fantastic.
Oh,
I loved all of like the custom levels. I never
Yeah.
did like any of the actual levels. I always did the custom.
The custom
Yeah.
ones were cool because they were all,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
created
what
by
I
the players.
what I really loved was just like one where you're like just falling down between two buildings, like
Yeah.
crashing through people's balconies and stuff.
Yeah. And talk about graphic games. That was like it's so
And
great.
no one was untouchable. Even like the following the kid could get horribly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Organs flying everywhere.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was not an easy game. It's just
No.
you had to be super careful, otherwise your body just comes apart.
Yeah, literally.
That's what made it so fun.
It was so rage inducing though. It was
to like you're just the heart and that's it.
Someone
Yeah.
made a game that's like a 3D version of Happy Wheels. Let me see if I can find it.
3D Happy Wheels.
Yeah.
Wow, that'd be cool.
It's one of those things though where I think they say it has nothing to do with it, but like it's totally based off that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. It's called Guts and Glory.
And glory. Nice.
Boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just remember playing the custom games. One of my favorite, I don't know why, I always had fun. It was you're not even like on a vehicle, like you were just trapped like in like a little spot, and you had like you would like throw swords at people and try to kill everyone.
Yeah.
So it was just like
Yeah, no, that one was a lot of fun.
those were always fun. I just enjoyed those a lot. But yeah, I just remember especially in high school, like they started cracking down on
Yeah.
like banning all of that stuff.
Happy Wheels is still up.
Is it
Yeah.
actually?
Yeah.
So that's one of the games I actually went back and played recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time. I mean, and then I remember in high school actually, it got to the point where they just banned about almost every possible website except for like maybe two.
hmm
Like you could literally look up. I think they were just called unblocked games. Like I think that was straight up just the website.
Unblocked games. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I remember that. That's still
Or
right.
it's like I think it might have been like unblocked games.
In high school, we found a website you could just play Minecraft for free in browser.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh my
like
gosh,
you
I
couldn't
wish I knew
you
that.
couldn't do online stuff or anything, but
hmm
it would save your worlds at least, which is still really cool.
Yeah. But it got to the point where this kid, he somehow, I don't know what he did. Like, I guess he made his own website and he somehow managed to put like almost every Flash game you could think of
Yeah.
in it. And he somehow made it so it can't get banned. Like, he put like some sort of firewall on it or something.
Yeah,
So we would just use that website. Like he literally shared it to everyone in the school, and everyone just used his website. It
that's
was awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah,
hero,
I know
you
he
know?
really was. I forget what the website was called. I think it was like like it was like such a like a random like URL,
Right.
but he shared it to everyone, and everyone just like had it saved in their toolbar or whatever,
That's great.
or the taskbar. Oh my gosh, it's just crazy. Like what we did to just play games in class.
Yeah.
I think I remember they briefly tried to block the cool math game at my school, but eventually they just didn't, which was
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
but
yeah. Cool Math Games is just a classic. I think it might
So many
be
games.
like there's so many good games, but like I don't know. I feel like it's just top tier only well, not I wouldn't say top tier, but like in terms of like playing at school and then also playing at home, like I feel like Cool
Yeah,
Math Games was it because like the teachers were the ones that introduced us to it. So it's like, oh,
exactly.
they were like, yo, you get on this website. And we're like, all right, word. And so I think that's what made it, like good, I guess.
Yeah.
But because they encouraged us at a point in time where they encouraged us to get on it. But now it seems like, they're all against it because it has games in it. But
Hmm.
they hate fun.
yeah. But
Yeah.
hey, I mean, great. Yeah, games I mean, depending on the game, but like games are a great way of learning. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
and
Especially like puzzle solving games.
puzzle solving
Yeah.
games, and then like just a bunch of other stuff. I mean, that and there's like that whole argument that like people have to like, oh, like video games are making people more stupid and stuff like that. And I'm like, I think they're doing the exact opposite. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think video games are training our brains in a different way that you
Yeah.
would not be able to, grasp if you weren't playing video games,
Definitely.
just like the way of even just like simply like moving a character and like doing actions with a character on a controller, like the fact that you are focused on the
Yeah.
screen and you know all the button inputs,
Yeah.
like
The
I don't know,
hand-eye
the
coordination.
hand-eye
Oh,
coordination of
it's
everything, like it's actually insane and
it
like
is.
um and like, come on, like you're not like my trigger finger like is not gonna come from not playing video games.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
like
Like you can probably tap more times than like
oh,
non-gamer.
oh,
Absolutely.
I guarantee like every gamer could tap more like
Yeah.
faster than.
Like in 60 seconds, you could probably tap. I don't know how many times,
All
but
right,
way more than the average
here's a question for
non-gamer.
you guys. Mario Party button mashing game, the button A. How are you guys mashing it? Yeah,
It depends. I don't know. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes index, sometimes thumb.
and that,
I know a lot of people apparently don't know that trick,
which one?
using your index instead of your thumb.
Yeah, I use the index.
Index is
Yeah.
definitely faster. There's
Yeah.
no denying it. Yeah.
I know some people they'll do their thumb, but the way they do it is like they shake the controller
Yeah.
or like
I've
with
done
their
that.
left hand,
I
Yeah.
remember
so they can like.
when I was playing
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid, you guys remember Metal Gear Solid 1? You've played it all, right? You've all played it?
I haven't played. I've seen gameplay.
The thing where you get interrogated and you have to resist like electric treatment, and you have to mash X really fast. And I remember like that was the first time the index finger trick didn't work. So
Oh
I
yeah.
had to do with like wrap my index finger in like my shirt and sliding it up and forth as fast as I could, just like going over the controller,
Yeah.
back and forth. Like even that was barely able to keep up because it just required such quick button pressing for that.
Oh yeah.
Every time you guys do like it for a time being ready to mash the button, I just hope the button like doesn't break.
I hate when you
Oh yeah, same.
quick time events that make you mash the button.
The worst is when you're like playing on a console you're not used to. Like if let's say you're a PlayStation player and then you play a Xbox game and it's like mash X or something and you're pressing the wrong button because
Yeah,
you're used to a different controller.
Yeah. I love that. I love the button mashing. And you know
Yeah.
what's funny? I just recently discovered. Have any of you guys or play like Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
So I just found out the other day that there's like a mode or like a game mode or something, or I don't know if it's part of the story or if it's like a separate mode, but like it's a button mashing mode where like you have to like karate chop like something, and you keep going to like the last level. The last level is like insane. It's like if you are not like the fastest button masher, you're not going to be able to do it. But not only do you have to button mash, the second you get to like the point like where like you're gonna like chop, you have to press another button.
Oh.
So you gotta quickly
Yeah.
button mash and then press another button.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Just
about.
as
That
fast.
it is
Um,
challenging.
And I've only seen a very few people do it, but like I really want to try it. Like it's
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Balcony Terror. That's the Happy Roof level I really liked.
What's it called? Balconies too.
Balcony Terror.
Balcony
I
Terror.
figured it out because I'm also playing it right now.
Happy
Cool.
yeah. So yeah. No, I definitely played that. That's one you said like where you just
Yeah.
fall between the two towers.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I definitely played that a lot. The sword throwing ones.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of the levels were just called the one kid from like the dad and the biking dad and his kid. Everyone would say the kid is Justin Bieber, so they just make levels where you kill the kid.
Yeah, yeah.
That's terrible.
I really hated Justin
Yeah.
Justin
Bieber.
Bieber,
Yeah.
yeah. I do
What
remember
was that,
that.
like 2012 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The prime years of gaming.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, what would you guys say was the prime years of gaming? Like
2012,
for
2013.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
well, 2013 probably for me. Yeah.
For us, it was at least. I mean, we're just talking about our own
Well, that's true.
generations.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true. But like so many iconic games
Honestly,
there.
all throughout middle school years for me and like early high school.
Yeah.
And then like once I hit 10th grade, I kind of like stopped playing as many games just because I got busier.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely between I'd say 2012 and 2016 for me was like
Yeah.
prime gaming
No,
years.
I agree with that.
Especially the jump from PS3 to PS4,
Yeah,
Yeah.
15 to
Yeah,
console.
exactly. That's when I really got into it, like tail end PS3 generation and PS4 generation.
So good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, what was it gonna say? Oh yeah. So what was your favorite character to play as in Happy Wheels?
I think the bike guy in his own.
Yeah, that's
Just because he was like the most maneuverable. Like
I actually like the Segway guy. The best.
Guy was,
Yeah.
was there a wheelchair guy?
yeah.
Yes, the wheelchair guy. Yeah, the older guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot how many characters there were.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think mine had to be the bike guy because yeah, he was just like the most maneuverable. Like
Yeah.
you can like do like cool ollies with him and
Mhm.
stuff like that, and just I don't know.
Yeah, my go-tos were always the bike guy and his kid or the Segway guy.
The Sailor guy's fun because it's like it's so unrealistic. But
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
he'll like
the
break his
look-
ankles and then he's like hanging on.
Yeah, it is fun.
Yeah.
Santa was also a character in that. I forgot about that.
Santa?
Yeah.
Really?
Was he?
I'm trying to think back. Was that like only like seasonal maybe? Or
Oh yeah. Okay.
oh my God. I forgot about that.
With two elves just
Yeah, just
Yeah.
on the side.
Oh man.
What a great game.
Yeah.
I kind of want to try that Guts and Glory game out just to see what it's like in 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's it on?
I think it's on Steam.
Is
Hmm.
it? Yeah.
Is it free or do you have to pay for it?
I think that you have to pay for it.
Okay.
See, now I feel like
I might wait for it to be on summer sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of games now like that would have been a Flash game are now like actually appearing on Steam.
Well, yeah, like
Yeah.
the Bloons Tower Defense games, those are all.
Yeah.
You have to
I
buy.
missed those
Mhm.
games. Actually, I recently came back to one of them. I think it was the very first one. I was like, I just want to see what it's like, and I was
Yeah.
like, wow. I was like, I can't believe I put so much time into it, especially the first one because the first one like very simplistic. There was only
Mhm.
like 6 or 7 towers. Like it wasn't
I
really.
never played them that much. Like I like them, but like I don't know, for some reason I kind of got bored of them after a little bit.
The one I think I played the most was either 4 or 5 because I
Okay.
bought it on my phone.
Yeah.
And I used to play it all the time. 'Cause,
Mhm.
like you could save your your data and stuff like that.
You said they're on Steam now, Justin?
Yeah,
Okay.
they even made a new one.
Really?
Did they?
What number are they on now?
Gotta be like 7.
There's like six made.
Defense 6. They made Bloons Tower Defense Battles.
Hmm.
They made a Bloons Tower Defense Battles 2, and apparently something called Bloons Monkey City.
I think I played Bloons Tower Defense Battles. Is that the one where it's like you're going against someone else
I guess
and you're
so.
trying to take out their balloons that are coming through?
I think it is.
Okay, yeah. Because I think that was I forget if I played that on the computer or if I played that on mobile. I want to say I played it on mobile. But
You
I feel like mobile games and Flash games had a lot in common.
Yeah,
Especially in like the
for sure.
early days.
oh for sure.
Yeah.
you guys
Yeah.
remember Fancy Pants Adventure?
Yeah.
I was just gonna bring that up. I have it open in a tab, dude. That was like
Yeah.
one of my favorite games. I'm not gonna lie.
It's really good animation, like really fluid, like
Really good.
platforming too.
Good animation, and I just loved the movement and everything in it. Like it was just so much fun.
Now
Yeah,
I
I mean-
think I played that on Miniclip, or was it?
It was-
I believe it was on.
I think I played that on
I thought it
60.
was on River Games.
I think it was also on Miniclip though, because that was an early game. That came out in 2006. The first one.
I might have played that on.
World 1.
I want to say Stick Page.
Okay.
I know
I think it was also on Miniclip though,
I know
if
it's
I'm not
actually got
mistaken.
like a sequel or port to the Xbox Arcade.
It looks like there's 3 of them now.
Wow. I think I've never played the first one.
Well, I played the first 2, I guess.
It's like one of the nice feeling platformer 2D platformers ever. Though, like
Yeah,
the way you can do like a black backflip and it just feels so
it's
fluid.
super fluid. Yeah.
hmm Um, Another game that came to mind because like I was thinking of that, like just like the Stickman style.
hmm
There's this game. Oh, I forget exactly what it was called. I want to say it was like Electric Man Stick Fighter or something like that.
Right.
It was so cool because you were.
Oh yeah, Electric Man. That's like a fighting game.
Was it just called Electric Man?
I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like based on like yeah. I think like I know you could change like the color of your electricity. Did that have anything to do with your moveset? I feel like it did for some reason.
It might have.
Or I think like because I remember like you could have different moves. I'm almost positive you could have different moves. Um, and I just remember like that game was so much fun. Like just going through the waves like bosses and stuff like that. Like and some were pretty hard. Like some were like actually really difficult, especially like the very final boss.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I ever got far in any of these Flash games.
Mm. I used to grind out so many Flash games, especially because I remember this is so nostalgic. So my grandparents used to have a shore house in
hmm
Sea Isle,
Oh, nice.
and way back then, like this was probably like 2008, 9, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, the only thing we had down in our shore, like I just wanted to play video games really, and I think the only thing we had there was um our Super Nintendo.
Oh wow.
And I would play that for a bit. Like I would play, just like the classic like Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
But I would get bored of that, so I used to always go on my Pop-Up's laptop and I would play go on Stick Page. Stick Page was like always my go-to.
Yeah.
And I remember always playing Electric Man, Stick RPG.
Do you guys remember Stickman Run, where you would just like run and like try to avoid obstacles? Like you were like constantly running, and you would have to like jump over like spikes and like slide under things and stuff.
Um,
This is what it looked like. I don't want to turn it on because the audio will play through the microphone,
Right,
but
right.
it looked like that, and you would just like jump over
It
stuff.
doesn't look familiar.
Really? I played that one a lot. It's fun.
But just the way it looked, just that picture,
hmm
it looks like this one mobile game. Have you ever played the game Vector?
No.
No, I haven't.
It's like a parkour game where like
Mhm.
yeah, like you're kind of like going through obstacles. Like it's
Okay,
not
well that sounds like
necessarily
this then. Yeah.
a stick man kind of guy, but like you're like jumping over
A lot of
like
those Flash games really did have a lot of stickmen.
yeah.
hmm
Yeah, I think it was just because it's the most basic art style, made it easy for the
Yeah.
game creators, and I like it. I like the stick man
Yeah, me too.
style.
I do like the ones that like played around with it though, like Fancy Pants did.
Yeah,
Like the
the
Fancy
flowy
Pants.
hair, the fancy
Yeah.
pants, yeah. Like,
Yep.
no, yeah, that some definitely did better than others.
hmm
Yeah. Um,
So do you guys remember when I was in middle school, my friends and I would like challenge each other to see who could get the highest level on run. Did you guys ever do that? And do you remember like how far you could get?
I remember, yeah, like we would try to do it in like if it was like indoor recess, like
Yeah, yeah, same.
we would try and do that, but yeah, I forget how far I got. It's been a
There
minute.
were I want to say I got to like level 40 or something. Like something
Wow.
like crazy like that, which
Um,
takes forever. It
yeah,
takes like an hour.
yeah, run. Honestly, yeah, I forget. It's been so long since I played that. And they made a second one, right? Was that
I believe there's a few. There's yeah,
One.
yeah,
wow. I thought a big game that I also played. Did you guys ever play Bloxers?
Bloxers.
I don't think so.
Is that like a puzzle game? I
Yeah,
think so, yeah. Oh,
yeah. It's like
sorry
where you
about
have it's like this just rectangular prism,
that.
and like you're just like you're falling over, like you're controlling it,
Yeah,
and
and
you're
you have
trying
to.
to get it straight up and down, like into the hole.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
That was a fun game.
that was
Yeah.
fun, but it was so
It
difficult
was very
because
You
challenging.
guys ever
And
play Learn to Fly?
Learn to
no,
Fly.
I don't think so.
Sounds familiar.
Wait a
It does
minute,
sound familiar.
that's the one
That's when
where
you're a penguin who's trying to learn how to fly. So you buy like a glider, you buy a
yes,
rocket
Yeah.
booster.
Oh,
I did play that. That was
I think
I
I
think
did play
that
that.
might have been also a mobile game too.
We had a mobile port. A lot of Flash games had mobile ports as we
Yeah.
were.
I did love Learn to Fly too.
Mhm.
Learn to Fly was a lot of fun. Oh, there was another game that, like, because I remember I played it alongside Learn to Fly during that era. It was like some like I want to say like 5 Second Frenzy or something like that, or like something Second Frenzy, where like you just had to do like all the. It was almost like WarioWare, where like you had to do like these quick challenges like within a short amount of time.
4 Second
4 Second
Frenzy.
Frenzy,
Yeah.
yeah, it was so much fun, but it got so difficult like as it went on. Like you had no idea like what the next challenge was. You're
Right.
just like trying to figure it out. That game was fun.
Oh,
Oh,
I remember another funny one was this game is only one level.
I don't think I've ever played that.
It's a game where you're just an elephant running around, but it's like the level appears the same, but every time you play through it, there's some other twist. Like suddenly the gravity's upside down. Sometimes it's rotated 90 degrees.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Sometimes the controls are backwards. Like it's a really fun
Oh,
way
that's
to
Well, that
it.
sounds cool, actually. Yeah, I never played that.
So how do you like? Is it like
I
you
never
trying to
got
get
to
to
the
the
end.
end, I guess, or oh, that's interesting. Now, how often does like something happen where like it changes? Like,
That's like every time you go through the level, there's like some other variation of it. But
oh, okay, okay, that's interesting. You know, it's fun. Like I think of because like difficult games like that. Have you guys ever seen it's like it almost looks like super. I forget what it's called, but you're like a little like cat, but like you're going through like a Super Mario world, but like the whole world is like just like one big trick, basically. Like, oh,
I think I know what you're
you
talking
think
about.
it's an
Yeah.
easy scroll, and then there's just invisible spikes there every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called. I want to say it's like Super Cat World or something like that. But I remember playing it. I couldn't get past the first level, and I'm like, I give up. Because like I used to watch like YouTubers play it, like Markiplier and all of
Yeah, it
them.
was called Super Cat World.
What was it called? Super
Yeah.
Cat World? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was literally just hair pulling, just frustrating. Like, uh, yeah, that game was it was difficult.
Yeah. Um, it's a cool game though. I'm
Um,
trying to think of other. There's so many Flash games I played as a kid. I just like can't remember because it's been so long.
you
no,
guys remember Scary Maze game?
yes,
Yeah.
I hated that. I hated Bloody Mary. I remember like Bloody Mary was like my biggest fear for the longest time, like especially like growing up as a kid.
Hmm.
Because like I hated jump scares. Nowadays I love a good jump scare. A good jump scare, it just like yeah, it just gives me, it's like oh like
That
that
adrenaline
adrenaline
rush.
rush. Yeah,
Yeah.
like oh that was awesome. That's why I love horror movies. But
Yeah.
back then, oh my God, that used to scare the living hell out of me. Like I remember the second someone put on the scary movie game, I'm like, I'm gonna leave the room. I'm
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I
The last thing you had to do is super difficult. They just get jump scared.
Yep,
Yeah, I
yep,
remember playing that really young too, because my brother was much older than me, and he
yeah.
like showed it to me when I was maybe like 8. Because
Yeah.
that game was pretty old if I
It
remember.
was
Like,
really old, yeah.
yeah, so and it scared the hell out
Oh,
of
I
me.
know. Because you're playing it and you're like, oh, and I remember my the very first time my brothers like tricked me. They were like, oh, like try this maze game. Apparently, no one can beat it.
Yeah,
And I'm
same
like,
same thing happened to
You
me.
think, oh, this is easy, then
yeah, I was like, what are
Yeah,
you guys talking about? Like you're going through,
this is easy.
and then the last one is like pretty difficult, and you're like really
Yeah.
focusing, and you're like,
I remember
And then, of course, when after I was tricked by it, I went out and I tricked my friends.
yeah,
I was
of
like,
course,
yeah, I was like,
absolutely,
I'm
yeah,
definitely showing
yeah,
it to my
pay it
friends.
forward,
Yeah.
I just remember if you touched any of the sides, you had to start back at level 1.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But oh my gosh, I remember I never really wanted to play that game or be near it. The second I saw that iconic maze of the black and blue path with that red ending, I'm like, nope,
Yeah.
nope, get me away. Um, yeah. Um, is there any other thing you guys want to talk about?
uh,
Again, I don't know.
I remember another thing that freaked me out was this is dumb, but I remember playing some Willy Wonka Flash game on like the web because there used to be that Willy Wonka candy brand.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know, you're in some Laffy Taffy themed pyramid and you're like wandering around this dark maze.
Mhm.
And then there's some Laffy Taffy monster who finds you and you just get a game over. And I remember that like crappy old like 2000 CGI thing pre-rendered scaring the crap out of me when I was little.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I just like Flash. There was so much horror online. I feel like back then
Yeah.
compared to nowadays. Like I feel like I don't see much horror
No.
Unless it's like filtered into my like TikTok feed.
Yeah.
But like other than that, like I just remember like I feel like back then there was just always like so many jump scares. Or like do you ever remember that video? It was like the fake car commercial with the jump scare. Like it was like a car just driving up like a nice valley.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was like someone that popped out. I remember
That was another
story.
one I
Yeah. I feel like there was
yeah,
so many of that, like just way back then,
there were.
compared to what you see now. I feel like now I feel like a lot of the horror I see, at least on like social media and stuff like that, is like just like psychological horror kind of.
Yeah, no,
Like
it's definitely switched more towards psychological rather than jump
yeah,
scares.
it's just like more just like eerie, creepy
Yeah.
kind of
And I feel like that really came along with TikTok.
for
Where
sure.
yeah.
And especially I'm not even joking, just I think it was last night. I saw this girl, she was like, she had this filter on,
Mhm.
and she was like, "Oh, apparently this filter is supposed to make you like creepy or whatever."
Yeah.
And she like just like opened her mouth, and it just like so it looked so like uncanny, like it was just like, and then
Yeah.
she took a step further and she went under her bed
Hmm.
and did that face,
Ooh.
and I was like, "Oh my God, I got the chills." Like,
Yeah.
I was like, "Ooh."
I remember just watching one video where it's like ghost call and tape. You just see this rocking chair, you see stuff flap around, then the rocking chair suddenly just starts moving on its own. Then there's a scary face that popped up, and I screamed really loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad yelled at me.
I mean, I do love horror now, but back then,
I like reminiscing about this old internet stuff.
no, yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Like now that I look
I
at it,
also really like horror. I mean, I used to be really bad at horror. I was scared by the Michael Jackson Thriller music video.
Really.
Yeah.
I think I was just like desensitized to horror from a young age.
Or
Just because my parents were never strict about like what I watched, and then I had I'm
uh,
the youngest of five, so like I had older siblings that would show me stuff.
oh yeah, no, that was me too.
Yeah.
I was the same way. I mean, at least when it came to like gore and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I was always buying like video games.
Well, it's funny how you said like the thing with the TikTok filter that made her face creepy.
Yeah,
I feel like when someone's face is distorted in a way that's like not too far off from reality,
yeah,
that's more scary to me than a
yes,
face that doesn't look real whatsoever.
I agree.
Yeah.
There's this trend. It's called Uncanny Valley.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, which it it's exactly what you just described, where
Yeah.
it's like their face is somewhat distorted, but it's close to a human figure.
Right.
That's what is
That's what scares me.
and the people do it on TikTok all the time. Like if you look up like Uncanny Valley,
Yeah.
people do like makeup
Yep, I've seen
or
those.
like
Yeah.
filters, and I'm like, it's it like I watch it because I'm like, it's like that thrilling kind of
Yeah.
entertainment. But like at the same time, I get the chills. I'm like, this is just so eerie, like
Yeah.
creepy.
I
Like
make the mistake of watching stuff like that like really late at night.
me too. Oh my gosh, me too all the time. I'm like, why did I just? I'm like, now I gotta turn on SpongeBob.
Exactly. That's a
Change my
go-to.
mind, you know.
Anytime you watch something horror late at night, you
Yeah.
gotta turn on
It's
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, SpongeBob was my
Just
good.
cleanse your palate.
Yeah, some classic seasons 1 through 3.
Yeah, 1 through 3 are the OG seasons.
Flying season.
Yeah.
You can dip into 4.
Yeah, like
Well,
Coffee Towers was
I
really
think
fun.
I think the original creator and writer left after the
After the
movie,
yeah.
And what
Yeah.
movie be the end?
which I love the Shell City
That makes
movie.
sense. Yeah,
Like,
Charles.
yeah,
Yeah, no, and it's so funny because I love music so much.
the
And there's
music and that's great.
well, I was gonna say I love music so much, and
Mhm.
there's so many artists that I will listen to hours on end, and I cannot recall their lyrics.
Yeah.
I can probably recall every episode, like every line of every
Yeah.
episode from seasons 1 through 3.
Oh yeah,
I've watched it so many times,
same.
and it's like my favorite show of all time.
Oh yeah,
Um,
same. That's
yeah.
definitely SpongeBob seasons 1 through 3 specifically
Yeah,
is my favorite Nickelodeon show.
absolutely.
Hands down.
It's just so good.
I like.
And what were you gonna say? Sorry.
I also like Jimmy Neutron. That was pretty.
Oh,
Jimmy Neutron was great too. Yeah.
Um, but and then you have those people that, like where you'll like quote SpongeBob and they're like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah. Like the kids that weren't allowed to
We're
watch
not allowed to
SpongeBob.
watch it, and I'm like, "How are we not allowed to watch it?"
Yeah.
I have a friend who's like that. My friend Katie,
Mhm.
she grew up, but her roommate Cam, she was a big SpongeBob fan, so
Yeah.
she was saying how they would go like she would every time she would invite her friend Katie over, she was like, "We're watching SpongeBob. You
Yeah.
need to watch this." You
I
know?
think it holds up. It's
Yeah.
still funny. Like there's so many jokes that are like actually well structured
Oh
and
my
like
gosh.
some like adult jokes in there too that you wouldn't get as a kid.
Scary
You get now.
jokes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't drop them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah, no, like looking back at it now, like you were saying, like
Yeah.
there's so many jokes that went right over my head as a
Same.
kid, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, this is so funny. Like it's like actually just like stupid humor, but it's like so funny. But
hmm
like, and that's I feel like why SpongeBob had such great success is because I mean, you like from if you're creating a cartoon, you need to make something entertaining for the adults, so like
Exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
like
Something that you can watch with your parents.
yeah,
Like parents can watch with their
yeah,
kids.
they have a good time watching
Yeah.
it too. Have you guys seen any of the newer seasons?
I haven't.
I've seen a little. They're fine.
They're fine, yeah.
Nowhere near as good as the
Yeah,
movies.
Their animation stuff gets a little more ambitious sometimes, which is interesting.
yeah,
Well, with like the close-ups and it shows them like all disgusting.
yeah. Like I've noticed because like clips will pop up on my TikTok page every once in a while of like the newer seasons, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this is just not SpongeBob.
Same.
I'm like
Well, it's different writers, I think.
I
Yeah.
know, but like
I did have a follow-up to the box episode, which kind of missed the point of the boxes. That was all just their imagination doing the work.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because apparently the box is broken and they need to get it repaired or whatever. It's like the whole point was it was all in their
yeah,
head.
It's all
wow.
imagination.
Yeah,
It was all imagination.
I
Yeah.
hate that.
Remember that time machine episode where they like
Yeah.
go back in time and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Apparently also Bubble Bath just became a way more recurring character.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is weird because he was only ever in 2 episodes.
Yeah.
One of them, it was only one scene. He was only even like a major character in one of those episodes. The other one was just when SpongeBob and Plankton were friends and he was at the movies and he sat on Plankton.
Yeah. Remember Doodle Bob?
Yeah. Yeah. You go me bye.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, we got really off topic.
Sorry. Whenever SpongeBob comes up,
Dude, I know.
got it.
Flash games too. I remember the Halloween Flash game where it was like Patrick was Frankenstein and you had to get the gears to align right.
Yup.
Yeah. Oh man. Should we I think
Should we wrap it
call
up?
there?
Yeah, I could go on and on about 90s and early 2000s. So
Yeah. Alright.
probably wrap it up.
All right, well, that's it for this episode of Palm Blisters, episode 9. Make sure to like and subscribe to WC Talks, where we post all of our content, and also subscribe to our TikTok, which I didn't tell you guys this, but I actually put a new one out this week.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Make sure you go follow that. Same thing, Palm Blisters, and yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next episode.
All right. Peace out.